Everybody, so here are the groups from the World Cup draw that we've just seen. In Group A, you've got the host nation, Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and then the UEFA Path D, the other host nation, Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and another UEFA Path A. And then obviously we just talked about the US being in a group with Australia, Paraguay, and UEFA Path C. Let's talk about the group of death, though. Are we all in agreement that the group of death is Group I with France, Senegal, Norway, and then the FIFA Path 2, Nigel?
I would have to say yes. That for me is the group of death. I think it's just going to be a real great group, interesting group in the sense of very competitive nations, very talented nations. It's not going to be easy. A lot of those teams on their given day, if they turn up, are capable of beating one another.
We've got the poll in, and the YouTube viewers agree with us. Group I by 49%, and then Group L just behind that with 25%. Grell, who do you think wins the group of death, if you agree that that is the group of death?
You have to say France is probably level above, and it's up to them to do it. That FIFA Path 2, we're saying it's most likely going to be Iraq, I think, what the odds say. I don't know if there's a clear second. Senegal, Norway, Iraq can be a tough team to play against on their day, but probably between Senegal and Norway, so it's a difficult one. It does feel like there's no group of death a little bit to me. Like Group I looked like it was going to be a group of death and then kind of faded away. The same thing with Group L. Because you have Panama and Ghana at the end, I'm not so sure. So I don't know if there's a clear group of death.
Do you think that's because of the expanded format?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah,
you had more teams, and obviously quality a little bit is going to drop. If I'm a manager in this situation, I'm looking at some of these groups, and if I'm like maybe the manager of Argentina or even, I don't know, Brazil or whatever, and I'm saying to myself, how do I manage my guys now? Like, I don't know if the question anymore is getting through the group. I mean, we keep saying it, but 8 third-place teams will go through, potentially with 2 or 3 points. So I think you need to look at this now and say, how do we arrive in the later stages of this tournament and be fresher, especially given the heat and the travel that happens in this type of tournament and after the long season that a lot of these players had. So that's what I would be my sort of thinking as a manager.
Without a doubt, you're right, especially now that there's an extra game in order to win the World Cup. But I think about, you mentioned Argentina. Argentina, their first game at the World Cup in 2018 was against Iceland. Debutants. Iceland. If Argentina chose to manage that game, they tied, by the way. They dropped points and put themselves in a very difficult spot to follow up, and they lost handily to Croatia, and they had to wait for a dramatic comeback against Nigeria to get back into the knockout stage. I don't know how much you could be playing around, and it's 8 games, right?
But that's the old format as well, though, right? Correct. What you're talking to. So,
true.
So you can effectively win 1 game. You can effectively not win a game and still get through. You could draw 2 and maybe get through as well, depending on how the other things draw.
But you want to finish first to be ordered to play a third-place team. I'd rather finish first and play a team that barely scraped by.
No, I agree with you, but I think to what Grella's point is that you want to have your best and most impactful players fitter and available towards the end. So if you are in Argentina and let's say you've got Algeria, your first game, you go, okay, do I really need to push like this with Messi for 90 minutes? Do I need to do that? Do I use it as again, his season will just be starting then with the MLS picking back up in March time, I believe. So maybe let's just get him through this. Can we rest him for this game?
I think it's a risk when you do that still, when it comes to tournament football. I think it's
always a risk.
It's a bigger risk though, because there's smaller margins for error. It's not domestic league football where you can say, okay, a point's a good point later down the line. It's also that you want to set a certain mindset and presence and certain atmosphere or focus in the camp. Because these players are away from their family, depending on how the different nations do, if their families can be there, you want them focused on no task at hand.
Which
and it really should be
a
winning. I feel you've got to go hard.
No, but for the families, and because it's always an interesting talking point, isn't it? Like, do you have the home comforts of everybody if you're a team, or do you want to be isolated? I
think your families can be there. On your days off, you can go and see your families, but you want the players to be focused. You want the players to be united more so than anything else. Your family is your teammate. It's if I go down, are you going to pick me up? Or if I have to come off, are you going to come and do the job? That's the family environment you want to create between the players that are there. Your families are there, where it's a day off, you can go see your family, but this is the family that needs to be focused. This is the family that needs to be in tune with one another to say, this is what the focus and the goal is.
Crazy enough, I thought of an anecdote from the 1986 World Cup, which Argentina ends up winning, but I use it because it's an anecdote of the football culture that I grew up understanding. Bilardo, the manager of the 1986 team, said, no family. Ruggeri, one of the captains, one of the main center backs of the Argentine national team, received a video from Argentina with his daughters, young daughters. VHS, received a tape. He was watching it in a room, was getting emotional. He had been without his family for weeks. Bilardo walks in and goes, what are you watching this for? Ejects the VHS. You watch that when you get back. Imagine how times have changed. But that, and you speak about how that needs to be your family. Forget it, like, your family needs to be the 26 players that you go to the World Cup with.
100%.
Imagine that.
But we veered off into this to talk about like the atmosphere you want to set and how you want to manage a team. I'm not saying that you have to rest guys. I'm not saying that you say, okay, Messi doesn't have to play or whatever. You could chop and change however you want. There'll be 5 substitutions, right, in this tournament, like there always is. Maybe you say, okay, we're going to play this way for the first half, really go after this team, get a lead 2-0, and we're going to make 5 changes at halftime. So 85 degrees, 90 degrees out. We're going to do 5 changes. Or maybe you won the first 2 games in the last game. You say, okay, these guys are going to play a half. These other guys are going to play another half. I mean, I think if it's something that you can get down to a little bit more of a science, especially if you're one of the bigger teams, I think it's something you could take advantage of. In the end, when Croatia lost, when they went deep into the tournament, it's because they went to 2 games back-to-back extra time. Right? When you have to play extra time in these tournaments, you're playing an extra 20 minutes or whatever, maybe an extra 30 minutes, excuse me. And then you go into penalties. It's 90 degrees out. So as an older group in Croatia, they felt it. They lost that final because they were exhausted when they got to the end of it, and they played with almost the same 11 players. They didn't have a lot of options. So it's something I think that's important, especially in this format, something you can take advantage of.
All open-air stadiums, by the way. The 2 semifinals will be in closed stadiums.
Just before we go to break, let's just quickly mention Group C again, because this is the fun group, the group of vibes, isn't it? And what about Haiti, though? Because we haven't really spoke about them in this group. It's Brazil, Morocco, Scotland. What a qualifying process it was for Haiti to get to this position, Nico.
I mean, it's wild to think that Haiti was even close to qualifying to the World Cup. The political turmoil happening in the country that hasn't allowed this national team to play at home for the last 5 years, trying to find their home away from home, be competitive, reach out to the diaspora of players that have left the country forcibly. The gangs have taken control of the streets. The president was assassinated, for God's sakes. Like, talk about unrest. And then all of the natural disasters, all of these trials and tribulations that the people of Haiti have had to get over, and yet their team still qualifies for the World Cup. I mean, speak about resilience and the possibility that they get a game in Miami. I hope they do, because we'll see the full Haitian carnival on display.
And this is what I like to say, because everything Nico said is fantastic there, and it's so well said and well put. And this is what I go to Troy about sometimes. You think about the mindset. Think about what these Haiti players are going to be like going into a World Cup. We talk about pressure. Look at real life experiences of what they're going through, what their family members have had to go through, what they've had to deal to go through, and then now they're at World Cup. That's not going to be pressure for them. That is going to be nothing to lose, and that's why I always say sometimes you can't really think or give no opportunity or chance for these smaller nations, because you don't know the journey of what these players have been through, and they don't look at Brazil as like, oh my God, it's Brazil, it's we're happy to be here. No, they're going to want to go out there and play, and anything can happen.
The captain of the team in the huddle right before the last game to qualify to the World Cup told the players, everyone back home has at best $7. They would leave that at our feet for us to qualify to the World Cup.
Puts into perspective, doesn't it? I think for the neutral fan, everybody is cheering for Haiti to have some success.